the 1940s, and tension is already high in Los Angeles, California. The population in the city has gone up, and there are currently 250,000 Mexicans living in the city. Yes, they are classified as white, but are treated with about the same respect as African Americans at the time. They make up a big portion of the poor, working class, and things don't look like they are going to change. But everything changes, and it only takes one spark to start. My analysis is these events portray the theme of identity and conflict. Latin Americans were targeted for conflict because of their appearance. At this time in history, minorities were supposed to stay in the shadows, but zoot suits were so flashy and out there that they were no longer going to hide. They were done with this mistreatment and wanted to be in the spotlight, just like their zoot suits. It's June 12, 1942. A boy named Frank Torres was shot to death at a high school track meet by a gang originally known as the Clanton 14th Street, which would be later called the First Street Gang or Zoot Suit Gang. The media starts referring to Latin American boys as pachucos, and coverage on the rising problems with these gangs starts to surface. It's July 27, 1942. A game of craps is broken up by the Los Angeles Police Department, and the Mexican Americans fight back. This is the start of them realizing their own power. August 1st through 4th, 1942. The famous Sleepy Lagoon murder has taken place, and the zoot suits are stereotyped with any gang involvement in criminality, and young men were being arrested just for being Mexican. There are movies and films reenacting this famous mystery murder, and still to this day, the true criminal hasn't been found. My analysis is because zoot suits were being stereotyped with gang involvement, it made Latin Americans want to come together and fight back, because there's no reason their identity should be causing conflict. Vamos a bailar el mambo. Throughout this all, World War II was going on, so Los Angeles was also flooded with military men on base. Being on shore included booze and women, and confrontation often started with drunk men trying to show their superiority. Mexican Americans had had enough, and at this point in time were starting to fight back. May 30th, 1942. A group of sailors back on shore and after a drunken night begin to follow some Mexican-American girls, and a group of zoot suiters intervened, and other Mexican-Americans were said to be throwing things at the servicemen. The servicemen, then being enraged, took to peeling off the zoot suits of boys as young as 13 years old and burned the suits along with beating the boys. The police didn't do anything for the Mexican-Americans who had all clearly done nothing wrong, and that's when rioting began. It was obvious that people weren't being treated the same, and this is a classic correlation of identity and conflict, because these people were Mexican-American and they were being targeted for conflicts. Propaganda had even started to find its way around Los Angeles, informing people on how to de-zoot someone. People were still fighting back and rioting, trying to get the respect they needed and deserved. A citizens' committee was started after the riots finally were controlled and died out. They came to the conclusion that racism was the sole cause of all these fights and situations. So how did this affect Latin American life today? The Zoot Suit riots made Latin Americans stand up for themselves and also showed that there was a problem with racism. It was the start of a movement to make things better. Latin Americans no longer wanted to have to hide in the shadows, and a very flashy zoot suit is what started it all, along with the strength of the people wearing it.
That whispering in the trees, it's two sailors and they're only pipes and chains and swinging hands. Who's your daddy? Yes, I am. Fat cat came to play. Now you can't run fast enough. You best stay away when the pushers come to shove. Zoot suit riot, throw back a bottle of beer. with a bugging brown-eyed man, a stray cat fronting out an AP band. Cut Miss Sammy and you'll understand. In my veins hot music ran. You got me in a sway and I want to swing you down. Now you say there's nowhere your women come for love. Shoot to riot, throw back a bottle of beer. Shoot to riot, a bullet hole through your cold black hair. You really shoot to riot. You really shoot to riot. You really shoot to riot. Say,